Hi.
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, you'll see me. I'm there. Me and Justine is from
The library.
yeah.
Yeah.
We're in the court, so
Oh, you
yeah.
are. When is that?
It's like next year.
Oh, okay.
But they just had like their what's it, their bridal show, or like their engagement party or something.
Yeah. And they were just in the Philippines.
Yeah.
Welcome to the City of Daly City Recreation Commission meeting. Today is Tuesday, October 22. And you can join in on our live telecast on Comcast Channel 27, Astound 26, and AT&T Uverse 99, and also on our website, dalycity.org/meetings. For those wishing to address the Recreation Commission on any item on the agenda or under public appearances and oral communications, please complete a speaker card located at the entrance to the City Council chambers and submit to a staff member as early in the meeting as possible. Persons with disabilities who require auxiliary aids or services in attending or participating in this meeting should call the Department of Library and Recreation Services as soon as possible prior to the meeting. This meeting is now called to order, and we'll join with the pledge to the flag.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
First on the agenda, our roll call for today.
Indeed. Commissioner Lando's absent. Commissioner Ortiz.
Here.
Commissioner Pastor.
Here.
Commissioner Flamenco.
Here.
And Chair Luna.
Here.
We do have a quorum.
Great. Next up, regarding this evening's agenda, I'd like to get a motion to approve today's agenda.
I'd like to enter a motion to approve this evening's agenda.
I second.
This agenda is approved. Oh.
All those in favor?
Aye.
None opposed, the motion passes.
Aye.
Aye.
Next up is our approval of the minutes for August 27, 2019. I'd like to request for a motion.
Motion to approve.
I second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And our director's report.
Good evening, Chair Luna and members of the Recreation Commission. It's my privilege and honor today to introduce some folks that you may not have seen for a bit. Our aquatic staff is here to give you an update on what's happening at Giamono Pool. And unless Denise has something to add to the introduction, I will turn it over to Mr. Christopher Mariano.
Hello, my name is Chris Mariano. And I'm a recreation supervisor with the Library and Recreation Department, specifically the Aquatics Department at Giamono Pool. Juvenile Pool is located at 131 Westmore Avenue on the campus of Westmore High School. And we've been there close to 9 years now, which is pretty crazy since it's the newest pool and approaching 9, almost a decade. Thank God it's holding up. Moving forward. Let's see here. Okay, so what this encompasses is the 2018-2019 fiscal year, which is July 1st to June 30th. And we provide a variety of classes, which some of them are aquafit classes, which is our water aerobics classes, our lap swim, which is AM lap, and evening lap, and that's 7 days a week. Our recreation swim, which during the school year is Friday, Saturday, Sunday. During the summer, we have recreation swim every single day, 7 days a week, as well as lap swim. Swim lessons, which we provide in the evenings, again during the school year. It's in the evenings, Monday through Thursday, Saturday and Sunday mornings, and Sunday afternoon. We have Aqua Camp, which is during spring break, which is 1 week, Monday through Friday, and during the summer, we have 4 weeks of Aqua Camp, and this year we had 5 because there was such a high demand. We also offer lifeguard courses, which is in the spring and also in the summer. Again, during spring break, for the high school district, it's when we provide it the best. And we have that inside the school this year. In the past, we had it in one of our recreation facilities, but this year the school offered a classroom towards us or for us to use for our lifeguard course during the spring and summer. On the weekends, we have pool parties in the afternoons, and of course, we have special events. We have 3 big ones during the year. Our biggest one is this Friday, which is the Haunted Pool, and we have a small special event in the spring in which we call Under the Sea. And as you can tell in that picture, that is our recreation swim during the summer. It's one of our SYRP sites there during the summer. Our hours of operation, again, fall, winter, and spring. Technically, we're not allowed on school campus from the hours of 8 to 3. So we have AM lap from 6 to 7:30. And then 4 to 9 is when our Daly City Dolphins come in and they rent lanes to practice. And then we have lessons and lap swim from the hours of 5 to 9 p.m. And then on Fridays, again, we have lap swim from 4 to 7:30 against DCD, our Daly City Dolphins, from 4 to 7. And from 5:30 to 7:30, we have recreation swim. And then on Saturday and Sunday, we are open practically all day for lessons, lap swim, rec swim, pool parties. And in the summer, as you could tell, there's 86 hours of operation. And that's because we're open all day long. We offer AM lessons from 9 to 12. We have rec swim. Then we have afternoon lessons. Again, DCD, evening lessons, lap swim, and rec swim. So during the summer, we don't close at all, practically. During that fiscal year, we had over 7,132 participants, and that does not include aquafit, lap swim, and rec swim. If we included lap swim, recreation swim, and aquafit, we would be well over 10,000. Those are the numbers we have for fall, winter, spring, and summer. And in that picture, we have a portion of our aqua campers along with our lifeguards. Our aqua camp goes from 8 to 5, Monday through Friday. And with that, they go on field trips. They take swim lessons twice a day, once in the morning, once in the afternoon. And on Fridays, we have rec swim and a big party. Again, our special events. Under the Sea is during spring break. Our haunted pool, again, is this Friday, October 25th from 6:30 to 9:30. Our summer kickoff carnival is a carnival which we kick off the summer right before any of our lessons begins, right before any of our camps begins. And then our end of the year luau is a luau theme where we provide a big special event for the community right before, and it's usually the Friday before Westmore starts their first day of school. And usually it's the beginning of August. And again, that was our summer carnival, in which we had a carnival theme, and those are some of our participants. Again, that happened on June 15th. We had 87 attendees for that summer carnival. Our end of the year luau, we had 81 attendees, and that was on August 10th. And we had to hold it on August 10th because school started on August 12th this year. Okay, so the last slide is, again, our biggest special event of the year at the pool. And it's approximately 150 attendees. In the past, we've had well over 200. Our haunted pool is provided by our staff. We have recreation swim, we have games on deck. We have a haunted maze in our classroom. And right before you walk in, we try not to scare as many kids as possible, but it's dark and kids get scared, but it's your entryway, and we have staff dressed up in Halloween costumes. So, and also we provide concessions right up front. It's a family fun event, and we would love for everyone to attend this again this Friday, and it's always a big hit every single year. So we're going to show a clip, a 1-minute clip in which we have currently on our Instagram and Facebook. And so here's one one of our senior guards did this video. We have a couple senior guards that are in the video, and actually one that's sitting right there, Derek, right now.
Yeah, I remember what happened last year with those kids, but I mean, there isn't really anything to worry about this year. I went and I checked all the exits, so we should be good to close up. All right.
Boo.
Hello? You guys, pool's closed. Who's here?
The suspense.
I know, sorry about that. I don't know what's going on with the monitor screen. It's showing on my screen.
It did it the entire time every time I was.
It's supposed to say GM1 full, date, and dynamic.
Derek, why are you reenacting? I didn't say anything, I just kind of died.
So in the end, the guy in the costume says everything on here, and it's the date, the time, the place of our haunted pool. So as we passed out, our haunted pool is this Friday, 6:30 and 9:30, and the following week is trunk or treat.
Great.
And for all of you who want to know how the video ended, you can find it on our Facebook and
Yes.
Instagram accounts, Daly City Rec.
Yes.
If you look for that on Instagram or Facebook, you can see the entire video without those technical interruptions. Sorry about that.
That's all right. Cool.
I think that's it.
I just have a question.
Yes.
I went last year. I love it. My kids too. The entrance, it was cash. Is this time the same, or you guys have a square?
We have a square,
Okay, good.
or not
It
a
makes-
square, but a version of it.
A
We have
version,
yeah.
okay. Yeah, it makes it easier and convenient.
Cool. All right.
Awesome. I'll be there.
Any questions?
Oh, no, thank you, Christopher.
Oh, thank you so much. It's so great to see so many participants joining every year and this haunted pool. I need to check it out, so I'm looking
Yes.
forward to it.
So 9 years now, the building, gym on the pool's been
It's close
operating,
to
huh?
10, yes.
Close to 10. And just looks as fresh as yesterday when it opened up.
We hope so.
Pool looks great. The locker room hasn't aged quite as well. but
No,
The pool's
no.
still holding up
Yeah.
great.
Yeah, that's great. It's good to see. Thank you.
Great, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Moving on to our commissioners' report.
I do have 2 reports. So I was able to attend the Latino Festival, and it was the celebration of the Latino Heritage Month. And we also give the an award, right? It was an award to the writer, the Salvadoran writer, Jorge Argueta. Yes, the writer. Yeah. It was, what is the correct name? Is
Jorge Argueta?
Is that representation or a award?
Oh, yeah, we proclaimed, or I should say we, the city council proclaimed September 21st, 2019, Jorge Argueta Day in Daly City.
In Daly City.
And, he was here the entire celebration.
Celebration.
I got to talk to him afterwards. He and his wife were very touched by the gesture from the city council. He calls Daly City his home for a very long time and really felt the love for all he's done.
Yeah. And the food was great. The people coming too, and it was really good organized. Also, I attend the other festival that I need to see the name. Is Kasayahan.
Kasiyahan.
In Daly City. It was really fun. I came with my 3 kids. They explored everything they could. The jumpy house and for different age. So they have face painted, everything. It was really good for the community to gather together. Thank you.
Great, great.
And of course, celebrating, in this case, it was the Filipino Heritage Month as well.
Thank you. Thank you.
I just want to add to that even though I wasn't able to make the events, I felt like I got like immediate updates through social media. It was covered really well, not only through Daly City itself, but a lot of the participants. I would see multiple posts on my feed, and I got to see one voice from at work. So definitely it looked like a great event. But just from that particular perspective, shout out to everyone that posted, spread the word about events and all of our future events as well. But awesome.
Yeah, just to add to that, same, I was out of the country, but I got to watch part of it on Facebook Live. So that was kind of neat to feel like I was still at the event, but it was just nice to see everyone gathering, and so it was nice to see that it was a success.
And I would be remiss if I didn't add to that, people that either watching it on social media or that were there in person. There's 2 people in the room that were instrumental in making that event happen. And one is Mr. Romeo Benson, who led the charge. And the other, of course, is our very own chair, Christina Luna, who assisted greatly on the committee, the planning committee, and getting some of the entertainment for the day. So thanks to both of you. It's become Daly City's signature event. And we look forward to it every year. And in fact, we'll be meeting tomorrow to talk about next year's event.
Geez, if that's the case, may I suggest, like, the performances, a lot of folks came from all over the Bay Area to see, and it was like that last year as well. So perhaps a live stream of the event just for the acts would be awesome. Just knowing how folks caught up on social media just to see what's going on, that would be awesome to see as well.
Great. If we don't have any more reports, we can move on to the next item for our announcements.
Okay, coming up, you've been told 3 or 4 times tonight. I'm going to tell you again. This Friday, October 25th, from 6:30 to 9 at Giamona Pool is our annual haunted pool. The admission is $8, cash or credit card. I've done it with my kids too, and it's a good time. So I would strongly recommend you attend that. And it looks like we're going to have a decent weekend. It's not going to be too cold while you're standing in line, but be prepared to stand in line. It is a very popular event, and there's one entrance there, so bring some patience and your swim trunks. Speaking of trunks, on Friday, November 1st, how would you like that segue? Friday, November 1st, even though Halloween is technically over, we're going to keep the party going with our annual trunk or treat, and that is going to take place at Westlake Park, and we're hoping we get lots of people there to decorate their cars and pass out candy, and the kids can wear their Halloween costume again. And that's rain or shine. And then right after that, we are going to have a movie screening inside Pacelli Gym where we promise it won't be too cold. And the movie is on the tip of my tongue. We'll come back to it. Maybe I'll remember. And then if you're planning ahead, please mark your calendars for Saturday, December 7th. We'll kick off the holiday season with Frosty Fest. That also is at Pacelli Gym at Westlake Park, Saturday, December 7th. Did you think of the name of the movie? Anybody?
Goosebumps. Goosebumps. That's what it sounded
It's
like.
a good, no, it's a good Goosebumps, a nice family film.
Yeah.
It'll be fun. That's also a great event. And we used to, for those of you who've been around, we used to try to do the movie outdoors in Daly City. It never fails. It would be like the absolute coldest night of the year. So we've learned from our mistakes, and we're moving the movie screening part indoors. Nice and comfortable.
Just a
is it for-
question on
Yes.
the trunk or treat. So if anyone wanted to participate by decorating their car, like how would they sign up for that?
They call Denise Brown.
Okay.
They would call David Zetzer at the main office, which is 650-991-8001. And David can set them up with a space. And the parking lot that we use is the parking lot by the water wastewater area. So the kids go around and around and around. So if you see the same costume again and again, just keep putting candy in the bag.
Great, thank you. At this time, we'd like to open the floor up for public comments. I believe we have two participants joining us. Can we call up Alana Wong?
Hi, I'm a mom of 3 kids in Daly City. I've been here for 15 years. I love our community. We have so much fun. We participate in almost all the Park and Rec events. I do have a major concern, though. I have 2 boys at Ben Franklin Intermediate School. They're both super active. They're athletic. They're social. They love to hang out with their buddies. And the current administration has shut down the campus after school, so they're no longer allowed to play basketball. This is a huge problem because there's 660 kids at Ben Franklin. I don't know how many hundreds of kids live in Westlake apartments, and there's nowhere in the area for them to play, like nowhere to go play basketball. I know that there's Marchbanks, but I Google mapped it. It's a 30-minute walk each way, and that's too far for most kids to go. I live up by Skyline, and that's just way too far across town. So I would like to find out, I know Westlake Park used to have a basketball court a million years ago. I don't know what happened to it, but I think that that's the one thing that that park is hugely missing. I know there's 2 baseball diamonds. Both my boys grew up playing baseball. By 5th grade, there's not enough kids to even have a league because there's just not enough kids playing baseball in this town. But every kid I know plays basketball, and there's a huge need for more public spaces for them to be able to play. And since they're not allowed to play at school anymore, my sons couldn't come because they're at home with 8 of their friends in my backyard right now playing basketball because they just want to play and they have nowhere to go. I emailed Denise because just trying to find out what's the current situation. Can they use the gym after school? Like, is there somewhere we can find a way so that they have access to a public park? Because otherwise they're all at home. They're all at home. None of these kids want to be at home playing video games, but since there's nowhere for them to be and the school has kicked them out, that's their only option. So I've opened up my backyard, but what about all the other kids? Like Westlake has hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of kids that need a place to go. And the schools can't allow it because there's no supervision, there's liability. The other elementary schools have after-school programs, so they need that space, so other community members can't use it. And it's just a huge gap. I just wanted to bring it to everyone's attention, and I hope we can do something. I know we can do better. The kids deserve a place to be able to play and stay active and stay healthy and socialize. So, thank you.
Thank you so much for letting us know. Sir.
I learned the same time Denise did. I'm not quite sure what prompted the school to close down their facilities. We just finished taking lots of public input for our Parks and Open Space Master Plan, and there's very little comment going into the report about Westlake Park. We are putting, courtesy of David Canepa and Measure K money, lots of money improving the basketball courts at Gellert. That's our next big capital project.
That's wonderful, but it's so far.
It's too far, I totally get that. We have some open play in Pacelli Gym.
It's for adults.
We currently have adult. The only open gym for kids is at War Memorial.
Okay, that's something we'll have to think about, but also keep in mind that basketball season is right around the corner, and
They want to practice in the daytime.
they will hopefully be able to practice in their gym at Ben Franklin.
That's a whole nother
Stay
world.
tuned, yeah, we don't really have control of the school, it's
We're
got
trying to figure that out
Yeah,
ourselves. We have
right.
no clue how we're going to.
There's no other outdoor parks in that area for basketball.
Did the school mention something? What was the reason they were closing?
Always been the school policy, everyone has to be off campus by 3:15.
Uh-huh.
It wasn't enforced by the previous administration. We have all new administration at the school that has decided to start enforcing this. Unless you are paying for an after-school program, then you may not be on campus. They just decided to start enforcing it. And I went to them first, of course. I started with them, and I pled my case and said, hey, these kids are not bad kids. They really just want to play basketball and hang out.
Just a question for you. Do they happen to have a written policy from the school?
District-wide policy.
District-wide? That makes sense,
Just
okay.
started to enforce it. And my children are still trying to sneak back on campus because they don't have anywhere else to go, but they are going to get in trouble for trespassing. Because the school has put up a 6-foot.
Through the chair, if I could, we love the input, but if there are people watching at home, they can't hear a word you're saying, so if you either come back up.
Are we done or do you want me to?
You can come up.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I didn't realize. I forgot about- Sorry.
And you can repeat yourself, it's okay.
Yeah.
Oh, the district policy has always been for students, if they're not enrolled in an after-school program, they have to leave campus by 3:15. The new administration at Ben Franklin has decided to enforce this policy and has instructed all the students repeatedly that they must leave campus by 3:15. So in the past, the students have actually for years, my nieces and nephews went to Ben 10 years ago, and they would leave campus, and they all sneak back on about 3:30 when the administration leaves. But the current administration has put a stop to that. So there's multiple courts that are not allowed to be accessed by the public unless you're paying for a program.
Okay.
And they've also installed 6-foot tall metal fences around the entire perimeter of the school so that there's only one entrance in, which limits access to the field
I
for
see.
everyone else. And there's no throughway anymore. For the children, I should go to the school board for that meeting, but they have to now go all the way around from Westlake Apartments, up Park Plaza, up around 87th, very dangerous intersection to come to school instead of just walking up the stairs, which they've done forever. So that's another issue, but not your guys's, sorry.
Well, this,
That's all the same fences, okay.
through the chair, I know this is kind of like thinking way down the road, but, in the Ceremony neighborhood, they have like tot lots that have basketball courts when they were building the neighborhood. In a well-established neighborhood like where you live in, maybe in the future, we could kind of like identify some dormant lots that can become future basketball court space for the neighborhood.
I just think Westlake is such a huge community. There's such densely populated in that area. There's so many apartments and houses and families right there that it's just, I think we're kind of in a desperate need at this point for some
Yeah.
facility for the children. Because they really, if they had somewhere to go, I promise you I wouldn't be here.
And the courts are really inside or is close to
Rondo
the
courts.
parking?
Oh, I'm sorry, there's a basketball court indoors, but the children are not allowed to access it because it's used for multiple different events. And they do have an adult basketball night, but not a youth time to access the courts. And there's no outdoor courts, so there's nowhere to go. I know there used to be, and I don't know what happened. And there are 2 baseball diamonds that get used very rarely because baseball is not a hugely popular in our town. I mean, I love it. My kids played it for years and years, but once they get to a certain age, there's not enough children participating. But there's hundreds of kids participating in Park and Rec basketball, you guys know.
No, for sure.
So they need a place to play on the weekends and after school.
Thank you.
Well, thank you for sharing
you.
this things
Thank
for
you,
us
Ms.
to
Wong.
consider as well.
We have Ternan Murphy as well. Sorry if I mispronounced it.
My name's Tiernan Murphy, and the reason why I'm here today is because our skate parks, there's no skate parks in Daly City. The closest skate park to us right now is across the freeway. I know we have Daly City skate park, but it's closing down, and right now you can't access it. And plus now it only has 2 rails and bumpy sidewalks, which isn't fair for kids. And Westlake Shopping Center is not permitted for kids to use skateboard, bikes, or anything else. So there's no way for kids to get through the streets safely while skateboarding. Right now, that's a big problem because for most kids, they're getting stopped by security guards asking to pick up their boards, and most people think that they're getting accused of something more severe. And also, a big problem is that the closest skate park is across the freeway, like I said, which most parents wouldn't let their kids cross the freeway on their own. And plus, not much kids want to cross this freeway just to go to one simple park.
Well said.
Well, thank you for sharing. No, definitely understand. I don't necessarily know the skateboarding community here in Daly City, and thank you for coming tonight. I would love to see more folks from the community as well, not just yourself to speak on it, because if this is an issue you feel like other folks in the community are feeling as well, organize them, bring them out. But I definitely understand a lot of students that I've worked with in Bayshore, they have to come over the big San Bruno Mountain Hill all the time to access parks, events, things of that nature, so I understand the travel. But question for you, what are some solutions that young people like yourself are doing to overcome this issue currently?
Right now, what we're using is like streets and parks, but most of the only park we have right now in Daly City that is accessible for most skateboarders is Westlake Park. And even then, it's not the best place to skate because it's around Dolger Centers. It's just a parking lot, and there's nowhere for kids to skate really. So right now we're just relying on the streets, which isn't safe for kids because if they fall off their skateboard, either them or their skateboard is getting crushed by a car.
No, for sure. So what do you feel like would satisfy a need for just a group of folks, like kids like yourself?
Maybe like a skate park near Daly City, like I know where Mr. Pickles used to be, where the skate park next to Mr. Pickles and In-N-Out. That one was okay, but there wasn't much potential for kids that were just about to skate because all that was there was a half pipe and 2 rails, and then it would be mostly for the kids that knew how to drop in and knew how to skate.
Thank you for sharing.
Thank you so
Joseph.
much.
Through the chair, excuse me, Nandi, if there were like 2 or 3 sites that your community would look to have a skate, I guess, park established, does maybe 2 or 3 sites come to mind in Daly City,
Westlake Park
Westlake Park?
would be a good one because right next to there's a big just empty parking lot that could be used for so much more. So right next to like the tennis courts, there could be like a skate park for some kids that they could go to while being safe, while their parents were looking over their little brothers and sisters, while their grandma and grandpa could be in the senior center.
Thank you.
I remember a long time, the meetings before, we talk about that skate park is not one that is getting renewed by chance. I don't
Yeah,
remember.
Terran Murphy, did a
Thank you very
eloquent
much
job.
for-
So
Thank you.
the skate park, the one skate park Daly City had was across the street
Mm-hmm.
on the other side of Sullivan Avenue. And there was not much to it. It was secondhand equipment that we actually got for free from San Mateo years and years ago. It rusted through, it was deemed unsafe, and our Public Works folks hauled it away. I will say, we don't have immediate plans for a skate park, but I've gone out with our city manager and Public Works director. Those of you who are old enough to remember Margate tennis courts over in the Sermoni neighborhood has been unused for recreation
Well, the
for
reservoir.
probably 15 years or
Yeah.
so. And we were actually thinking that might be an ideal place for a skate park. There's some infrastructure there that could be used rather than having to build from scratch. We haven't made a decision on that, that's where it would be, but that's something we have considered, and we realize there is a need in the community. Just anecdotally, our branch manager of the Ceremony Library is a big skater, and I was over there today, and he spends every lunch going to different skate parks in the area. But the difference between Tiernan and our branch manager is, our branch manager can drive to the skate parks, that's a little bit of a burden. I'm hoping Tiernan's not driving yet, at least I think he's going to admit.
Sorry, Dad.
So, no, there's definitely a need, and we are so close to having the Parks Master Plan accepted, finalized, and I know we did get some comment from the skating community that we need to do better for basketball courts and for skate parks, for sure.
Back up for a quick second. Skating is the second most popular sport right now in middle school. It made a huge, my brother
Absolutely.
skated when in the 80s, but it's getting really big. And the kids are trying to skate after school, and they're not allowed to skate anywhere. That's the other issue.
It's an outlaw sport.
It is an outlawed sport. So they're skating in Westlake Shopping Center, and that's where the issues arise, because it's dangerous, there's traffic, it's just not safe. But I don't know, Westmore Clubhouse has been shut down for quite a while. I'm sure something's
Westmore
going on.
Clubhouse is a property of the Jefferson Unified High School
Schools,
District.
high school
It is not our property.
Okay.
That's ripe for something other than a rundown clubhouse. But if you're not familiar with Margate, it's one of Daly City's largest reservoirs, and there used to be tennis courts and basketball courts on it. It got shut down, like I said, probably 15 years ago at least.
Yeah.
But it's still there.
Yeah.
And there's a section of that I personally, and I'm not a skate park expert, even though I sometimes try to be. I think there's a place there that would be perfect. There's a modest parking lot. It's in the middle of a residential neighborhood. It's not anywhere near the scale of Westlake Park. But if you go to most of the skate parks around, I know one that's popular with kids here is the Balboa Park.
Oh, it's amazing.
But that's across the.
Yeah,
That's the one he
right.
was
That's the one you're talking about.
talking about, yeah.
It might not be quite that big, but,
I think anything is better
Yeah,
than
exactly.
no
Yeah.
there.
and maybe we can put some basketball courts back up there.
Please.
Yeah.
They'll be used, Gary.
With the thing with the Westlake shopping center, I've had some troubles. I've been stopped by security guards a couple of times now because I've been skating through. They've stopped me. They've said that there's signs everywhere where there isn't one sign in the whole of Daly City Shopping Center, where there's no one sign saying that there's no bicycles, no skateboards, no scootering, nothing like that. It's only kids on skateboards that are getting in trouble. We've seen kids come down by bikes next to security guards saying stop, just coming round, but then whenever we come round, it's always like, you're not allowed to be on your skateboard. It says no skateboards, no scooters, and no bikes, which there is no one sign in the whole of that shopping center that says no bikes, no skateboards, or no rolling blading, etc. Which is off-putting for most people because they get in there, they start skating around, they're minding their own business, and then they're getting stopped by security guards because somehow they say it's private property and say that it's against the rules or something like that to skate in there.
It is private property. And
I know.
Skateboarding is not a crime, my favorite bumper sticker. But on private property, they can make and enforce the rules they want. But you can certainly skate on the public sidewalks at Westlake.
But definitely, I have seen around my neighborhood kids, teenagers and contemporary and adults using a lot of skates, and is obviously a need in our community to address that. Now that there is the hoverboard and all those new technology, so hopefully we can transfer this information. Thank you for being so courageous. I really admire your input and your courage to come here and be the voice of people in your community, and of course, people that likes that same talent that you have. And keep going. Don't let us stop you, or nobody stop you.
One thing if I could add, like what I was saying earlier, gather up your community. That way we can figure out because currently right now, we probably can't pop up a skate park all of a sudden. But one thing we could do for sure is, bottom line, yeah, you can't skate at Westlake. I don't want you running into no security guards. I don't want you running into any trouble with the law or anything like that. But bottom line, young people have to have a safe place to skate. So there's probably ways where we could be creative in terms of, I don't know, you got to bring your community here, whether it's a rail or two or a ledge that we could figure out that you guys could use on some smooth surface, and you guys could go there at a central area. I don't know. But like I said, bring them out, organize them together, and we could figure this out.
Another thing is that if we had like a little bit of a space where we could build like a DIY skate park for like a little bit until the board can adjust the builder skate park, it'd be okay, because right now there's no DIY skate parks in the area. There's no actual skate parks. Right now, like I said, we're only skating on places where it is dangerous and it's not okay for kids to skate on.
Yeah, because I know that there's the Tony Hawk grant. He does a grant like every year for
Oh,
like
really?
80 skate parks.
We should try to find out.
So we could look into that grant. But thank you for sharing.
Yeah.
We'll bring this to the table again soon.
Thank you so much.
Could drain Giamona Pool and just make,
The parking,
that's
the
the high school,
parking.
the high school wouldn't let us do that, never mind, bad idea.
Yeah. Through the chair, thank you, Tern. You pronounce your name Tern?
Tiernan.
Tiernan. Okay, thank you. And do share, like Nathan said, Commissioner Nathan said, bring out your community to our next meeting as we get more ideas to kind of like get more brainstorming on what you're looking for. And stay safe out there.
Or,
Don't want to hear.
you can go to Balboa, meet some people there, and also Brisbane has also a skate right now.
And
that
Pacifica has a
You can meet
skate
them,
park, so.
and if you know people that are skating, and make it stronger, yeah, please. But obviously, we will try to address this any way possible. Thank you.
Thank
Thank you,
All right.
Ternan.
Thank you, Dad.
and Alana. Are there, at this time, are there any other comments or reports?
That's the most public comment we've had in 2 years. Thank you for
Yes.
participating.
Thank you.
If there are no other comments or reports at this time, I'd like to request for a motion to adjourn tonight's meeting.
I'd like to enter a motion to adjourn this evening's meeting.
And sorry, I got lost.
I second.
Those in favor?
Those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
This meeting is now adjourned until November 26th.